Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday, which means it's Glitch Jams live time. Hello and welcome. My name is Jenn Schiffer, and I lead community at Fastly. And Glitch Jams Live is our weekly live stream. We'll go into what that means going forward, where I share all the cool stuff that the community's been making and talk a little bit about code jams and stuff. We got a lot of show today because it's a special one. I just got back from grabbing an iced lavender latte with almond milk. That's my drink. I got my sugar-free raspberry lemonade water because I'm out of my iced tea. Every day's a struggle. That's why I have my jacket on. I'm not trying to look cool. Not that I have to try to look cool, but we're about to have a little Mr. Rogers moment where I take off my jacket and put on my sweater to get ready to JavaScript. If you're here live, hi. Say hi in the chat. And if you're watching this later, hi. Thanks for joining us. Maybe you can join us in a future stream live. Because this is live, that means you can join the chat. So I will be answering any questions that you have as they come through and saying hello. We got our mods, Jen Turner and Casey Calderup, straight from the Glitch team here. Hello. Oaktowner. Whoa, so many Jens in here. That's right. It is the Genternet, or as I call it, it's Gen O'Clock. Neoto's in the chat. Hey, Neoto. And then Bossy Smacks was in here earlier saying, hi, man, what's up? Not much. What's up with you? So now that I'm properly clothed, hydrated, or on the path to that, it's time to get into the agenda today. If you want to follow along or see any of the links that I click on and show today, we do have a run of show on a glitch app called jamslive.glitch.me, which I am posting in the chat. There's a couple of really interesting stuff. Casey called this the agenda, which is also very great, and I love that. So let's get into it. So let's do some magic and make my browser magically appear. Cool. Love that trick. That's literally just setting the fade transition on OBS to like 1,000 milliseconds, which if anyone here knows, I don't know how long 1,000 milliseconds is. What is that, like 1,000 millions of seconds? We'll never know. Maybe someone in the chat can do the math. Jen says we stand OBS. We certainly use OBS. But yeah, love it, living it, laughing it, streaming it. So this is the 20th episode of Glitch Jams Live that I've been doing since we kicked off Community Code Jams in November of last year. And so this episode is concluding season 1. I want season 2 to be bigger and better. We've done a lot of experimenting this last season. One, just getting a thing out the door. And I tell you, any of you that are like interested in streaming or blogging or really making anything but are afraid it's not going to be good, just like do it. Like just do it, and like you learn and you ask for feedback and people challenge you and you grow. Like that was why I got this out the door. I've streamed before, but not for like a work related kind of thing more regularly. And that's what I was trying to stretch myself on doing. And I feel pretty successful, which means it's time to grow. So I have a survey here for you. It's linked in the run a show that I posted in the chat. But in order for me, or really anyone, to evolve or grow anything, you have to get feedback from the people who have been involved, for those who haven't been involved. And so I would love your feedback on this season to help me make season 2 even better, which will probably start up next month and will probably be monthly. I'm not sure. It depends on what you want to see. So I asked you some very simple questions. Have you seen an episode of Glitch Jams Live before? Because I don't want this to just be from viewers. If you have, was it live or after the stream ended? Just curious. how did you hear about Glitch Jams Live? Like, was it through social, or did a friend tell you, or did you just find out because someone sent you this form? I would love to know that. If you have seen Glitch Jams Live, what did you like about it? If you've not seen Glitch Jams Live, why? Because it might be the reasons that people don't like it. And then what should we change about it? Does the day and time not work? Do you want to see more guests? We've only had one guest so far. We had Zach Leatherman, who created 11T, on. I have a whole list of people that I want to bring on in the future, but what are some other things that you would love to see? Maybe the stream should be longer. I usually run just about an hour. Or maybe you want it to be shorter, to be shorter, like more like shorter streams or fewer longer streams. Or shorter streams weekly and one long month one. Like, the sky's the limit. I want to know like what you want to see. Maybe like different scenes. Like, I'm kind of bored of these OBS scenes that I've put together. I definitely want to like update those. And then what would your dream guests be? This is another sky's the limit thing. I don't want you to like hold back. Like, you can say that you would love to see Celine Dion on the Glitch Jams live stream. And I can't say, just with any feedback, I can't promise you I will act on it, but I will take it in and I will process it and I will triage and decide if, in the words of how we do triaging in Jira, if it gets iceboxed, backlogged, or in progress. But yeah, I just want to like know, but I also want like legit like guests. Like, who do you think I would have like a good rapport with, or maybe someone else on Glitch would have a good rapport with? I don't even have to be the host of the future live stream. Like, think about that. But also, with all your feedback, please be kind. Like, it doesn't have to be nice, but it has to be kind. And then finally, this is kind of like a thing that I just like want to know, but also could be inspiration. But like, what are your favorite live streams and why? This isn't just going to help us improve, as I said here. I also just like want to watch more videos. I watch a ton of YouTube, and I just want to know like, what are the streamers out there that you like? It doesn't have to be YouTube. It can be like Twitch or wherever. But yeah, so I will be sharing this on the Glitch forum later to get feedback from folks there. If you're not already on the forum, support.glitch.com. But yeah, hoping to get some good ideas. And that includes my coworkers, who I already shared this form with. I expect feedback from them as well. So there we go. Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, I've made a couple updates to our help docs that I wanted to share with you. Some kind of like quirks we've discovered that you might want to know about. And I also thought it would be a good idea to kind of share like some support ticket things that we had like dealt with, because it might help you on your journey. And so here's a new segment called, pretend there's like text over me, support tickets support docs I've updated this week in response to quirky support tickets. The first one is Rewind. Our coworker Kevin, who manages the DevRel team at Fastly, was working with Glitch. There was a version. The project was running a deprecated version of Node, so it wasn't running. And so he went to update it, and he had updated all the dependencies, but it turns out one of the dependencies required a version of Node that aren't on containers yet. We're working on it. And so he went to use Rewind, and what happened was nothing. Nothing happened. It didn't rewind. So if you are trying to rewind to a previous version of a Node project, but nothing is changing, it could be that that previous version was running a deprecated version of Node. If that's the case, and you're not able to manually revise your project to a previous state, reach out to support. You can file a ticket right from the Help Center. There's a little contact support link. Give us the name of the project, the rewind checkpoint that you're trying to revert to, and we'll find a backup that coincides with that day and time to revert to. We think that this probably won't happen a lot, but we just want to make sure that we had this documented. So if you do run into this issue and you search the Help Center, you'll get to this point. So if you have any other weird oddities that you see with Glitch, do not do not keep that to yourself. Let us know. File a support ticket. Let us know, because if it's happening to you, it might happen with others. And if you don't tell us, I can't make a JIRA ticket to have it fixed. So there's that. Also, have you ever deployed a Glitch project to DigitalOcean? Well, we had a support ticket from somebody who their project would just not deploy. And it turns out, and this is the addition to this doc, DigitalOcean has different rules on project names than Glitch does. And so they have an app specification. I'll click through it here. The Glitch project name is used in creating the DigitalOcean project when you're deploying to DigitalOcean. And so while Glitch has fewer rules, they have to abide by DigitalOcean's for that deploy to work. We're going to work on making that error message a lot clearer for you. But ultimately, if you are planning to deploy to DigitalOcean, and in fact, I kind of like this rule for everything anyway, the name of the app has to be a string. That's the same with Glitch. It can't start with a number. That was the issue. This user's project was just a string of numbers. It has to start with a letter, and then it can be letters or characters or hyphens, and it can't end with a hyphen. You really should never end a project name with a hyphen on Glitch. It can act weird. I've in past streams clicked on a user profile or a project that ended in a hyphen, and it didn't work well in Firefox, but it worked in Chrome. It's just always a good idea to just start and end name tokens with letters or numbers. But with DigitalOcean, it has to start with a letter. So you can find all different other kinds of rules of the DigitalOcean YAML structure here in the doc. But we've updated the how do I set my project up for DigitalOcean deployment to tell you, start with a letter, don't end it with a hyphen, and it can only be up to 32 characters. If you've deployed DigitalOcean, I'd love to talk to you about that experience, see if there are ways that we can improve that. But for now, just letting you know, that's kind of not a new rule. It's just something that finally somebody ran into on Glitch with deploying. Let's see. Alper, hey, welcome to the chat. Jen said that a hyphen killed her grandfather. Therefore, we hate hyphens here. No, we don't hate hyphens, but they do have some explaining to do. Okay, so we got through the Glitch Live form, our docs. Let's get YAML off of the screen. I apologize about showing YAML on stream. That shouldn't be allowed. But here's something cool. This is our app of the week, which you could always see by going to glitch.com. That is our website. Our app of the week is Zine Machine by Rowan M. This is a template for making zines. It tells you what a zine is. This is an oldie but goodie on Glitch. And it kind of just shows you a format of how to create the zine, print it out, and fold it. And yeah, really cool stuff. You should get started. Again, I always say you can tell it's an oldie but a goodie because it's got the Glitch fish button, and I love what Rowan did here. I'm actually going to show you Rowan's profile because Rowan has made some really freaking awesome apps on Glitch, like Fractious, of course. Let's see, what are some other ones? Play Peg Solitaire. Ooh, I wonder what this one does. Input knob up to 11. Oh, that's cool. It's just a knob that you turn that changes the HTML slider. That's very cool. Oh, Not Wheelie. This is so funny. So Not Wheelie is an optical illusion, and it looks like that they change the position when you change when you kind of shift it just a little bit, but they're not actually changing position. It looks even better on mobile when the two circles are together. But I shared this I think like in a subreddit, or maybe it was a TikTok, and it sparked a whole argument of people being like, it is changing position. And I'm like, no, you can like look at the code. You can like look at the app, and it doesn't. Anyway, Rowan's made a wide variety of really cool stuff. And possibly, I think, works at Google still. Anyway, thank you, Rowan. This Fractious app is really cool to play around with also. You could create a lot of cool random stuff. Naota said, H-Page Zine is fun to make. And Jen said if you made a zine on Glitch, tell her about it. You can share on the Glitch forum, support.glitch.com. Naota is familiar with that because they're a beloved regular, but we have a category called the gallery. So it doesn't even have to be Glitch apps. It could be apps that you use the Glitch app to make. Share it in the gallery. And you can see all the other cool things that people are making there. That's our run of show. Yeah, thanks, Rowan. Okay, here are some apps that I've run into over the past week that involve Glitch. Take a sip of water or coffee, if you will. Let's see. Okay, I featured this app map in Splats before, but Kieran Farr, the creator, K-Farr, shared it on Hacker News. And so that's cool. We'll share it here. So this uses Gaussian splats to generate 3D tiles. And it's using a Google 3D. And it's like generating them. And you can send it to your VR device. I'm running this off of an iMac and not a VR headset. But this is all like generative. And that's like pretty cool. And people have been making pretty interesting stuff. There actually has been, well, this Hacker News thread goes into like what it is, a video example on his Twitter account, some demos, and amongst the conversation, somebody remixed it, because Glitch lets you remix it instantly, to add different camera controls. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. I would give this a plus on Hacker News, but I was banned from Hacker News because I used to write tech satire and they cannot handle it. And so I can't give a plus on that, but I can encourage you all to show some love in the comments. Also, while I'm talking about Hacker News, this drives me bananas. The fact that this title goes to maps and splats like Glitch Not Me, but when I hover over the actual maps and splats like Glitch Not Me, it just like goes to a search. That's bananas to me. This should just say like find other mentions. It's just like not labeled. Anyway, I'm not trying to get back on Hacker News, but anyway, love that. Thank you, Kieran, for sharing. I'm gonna say thanks. And Kieran's got all sorts of really incredible demos using A-frame, especially related to maps and streets and stuff like that. Actually, let me go on 3D Street. This is like incredible stuff. If you're filling out that feedback form, be like, I want to see Jen on VR. Vastly should buy her a VR headset to do that. Anyway, love this. Okay. Another app. Well, actually, it's not an app. It's just a creator profile. Blibby Pixel is a Glitch creator. I don't know them personally, but I am very familiar with their work because they share it across this one message board that comes up when I'm searching for Glitch apps all the time. And they do a lot of stuff with, as you can tell here, from remixing the A-frame starter. And so this week they had made a David Bowie A-frame app. This is Bowie up there. And what I'm sharing this for, even if you're not like a Bowie fan, they have 91 projects and they're all like bangers. One thing I'm trying to do, and I'm modeling off of Blippi Pixel's work, is always creating, even if it's not like fully fleshed out, and sharing. All their stuff just happens to be really great, but they're really like practicing out in the open, and that's just like stuff that I love to do, and I love to see. I don't know if this will load, but yeah, I don't know. If you're interested in A-frame, or you just want to look at a lot of cool 3D stuff, check out Blippi Pixel's account. Let me see if I can find. Oh, Robot Dome was cool. It's you're not going to be able to hear the music, I don't think, but it's like robot. This is why I need a headset, because I want to be able to have the proper controls. I want to follow this robot. Is that a transformer? Come over here. I'm not going to tell the robot to step on me on stream. That would be inappropriate. Anyway, thank you, Blippi Pixel, for always sharing your stuff and using Glitch to do it. And O-Towner said that I did hear that music, so cool. It means that my microphone is high quality. That virtual boy made was by Ryan. Well, Ryan goes by That Virtual Boy. Or no, author and creator of That Virtual Boy. That Virtual Boy is the blog. Ryan is the author and sole creator of it. They talked about their app Genie. It's a magical wallpaper generator for iPhone. What does this have to do with Glitch, Jen? Wow, that's like a really great question. They use Glitch for the server. They write through the entire development story, the idea, which is my favorite part of learning about like why people make stuff, is like how they got to the idea and started on it. It's just like an exhaustive exploration of it. And the server backend is Glitch, which hosts all the URL calls, like upvoting, calling images and stuff. And they said Glitch has been great to work with, which is awesome. One thing that I thought of when I saw the app and all like the images was like, oh, how are they like hosting all the images? Because, you know, like most services have like limits on disk space, and images can be like very heavy these days. And so they were talking about how they were initially using Glitch to host the images, not assets, because they were being generated by the app. So they're like, the public app directory totaled at 400 megabytes and was nearly half full due to third-party package installations. So they're running out of disk space. One thing that they were thinking of is like, let me delete the 5 oldest wallpapers. But as they said, that would have been a poor real-world production experience. I love that call out. And so they configured a Google Cloud bucket to host all the uploads. I call this out, one, because it's just great to see like a developer's process as they hit issues, and we should encourage more developers to tell that story. But then also it just displays like Glitch does not have to be the best solution for everything you're trying to build. Like, I'm not like everything should be built on Glitch. I don't think everything should be built on Glitch. And nobody at Vasily thinks that everything needs to be built on Glitch. If they do, like, that's just like not reality. We do have like limits and constraints, and there are lots of tools out in the world for building that are probably the best. And like our philosophy is like, we want you to have the best tools to build the stuff that you want to build. And so the fact that they're using Glitch for the server and using Google Cloud Bucket for all the uploads, like that is like the spice of life in web development, just being able to use the different things. And so, yeah, check out thatvirtualboy.com. Let's see. It's their latest on All Stories if you want to find it. And it's just like a great story of like the process of going idea to execution. So congrats there. Arborville is built on Glitch. I love this one. I might have shared this in the past because I've shared it with a bunch of people. But I'm going to share it again because it came up again. Arborville is a town someone lived in a long time ago. This is just an ASCII map, not just. It's like, this is like incredible. And there's little anecdotes like, I like to lie in these large grassy fields at night and stargaze. And that links to other things, so it probably takes you across a different story. But wow, a scarecrow. I love this stuff. I love ASCII illustrations. This is like good stuff. During the summer, I like to dip my hands into the water and catch the frogs. The fish in this pond are huge. I love this. I got my first pair of hiking boots here. There's a little coffee shop. Let's click on coffee shop. Arbor's Coffee. There's a menu. They got a SoundCloud playlist on here. Like, it's just like a really pretty journey. Made by Abby Foreman. Thank you, Abby. I love this. I love ASCII art. I think one thing I want to call out, if you're interested in doing ASCII art, the one caveat with ASCII art is that it's not accessible. It's an image, but the format is characters and not like an image file. But I addressed this in a past code jam, your dream default style sheet. If you were involved in this, shouts out. I had created a default HTML webpage with lots of elements, and then the community during that jam made default style sheets. And what's starting up right now is my taking all of those and like updating the style based on that. So I added some ASCII art for the figure. If you put it in a figure, you should add a caption. And you can add captions to figures that are not visible to people who aren't using screen readers. So you can still use ASCII art, but there's just a better, more evolved way to do it now with HTML than there was way back in the day. And if you're not familiar with ASCII art, it's just pieced together with different characters from the ASCII standard. It's a really fun stuff. In fact, I use remember my cockroaches from last month? I have ASCII art in the source of Make 8-Bit Art. I have a bunch of dinosaurs. Yeah. I made this like a very long time, which is what explains the maturity level of it. Again, I made Make 8-Bit Art 14 years ago, and I'm 18 years old, so I'm not 18 years old. Anyway, love ASCII art. I already thanked Abby, I believe, so I'm just gonna close that tab. Okay, Roots Connections is I think the creator shared it on Twitter and was like, kiss my ass Wordle or something like that. It was funny. It caught my attention. This is like Wordle-esque, but instead of combining letters to make a word, it's making groups of words that might be related. And it's hard. Well, one, I couldn't find what the directions were. I kind of had to like figure it out. I know that like cattle, mares, Bantam's a chicken, which I only know because Bantam is like a book imprint that has like a rooster or chicken. But what would the fourth, what would be like an animal? And some of these are part of different kinds of groups. And then you submit, and if you mess it up, of course, clicking it is not, oh, shuffling's working, but submitting's not. Oh, I gotta add a fourth one in order to get to go. What is I don't know what a merle is. Okay, mistakes remaining 3. So I have to make 4 groups of 4. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but as I was playing, it just got more and more interesting. And you can change the words and find the different groups. And yeah, I don't know. I like new, interesting, challenging games that are hard to do. They clone New York Times connections to practice web dev and host the puzzles I make for friends. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Next one. Are you a fan of InfoSec? Do you like challenges? You should follow Johan Carlson on Twitter. I think they've been doing this for a while, but one just came across my radar this past week as I was searching. But they've been posting like InfoSec related challenges on Glitch, where they'll create an app and tell you like you have to use cross-site scripting to get it to do a thing. So here's like the sandbox playground. They give you like a mission, and they encourage you to play around with like URL params and stuff like that to try to get it to do a thing. So you, and then like they will share who like solved it for second or third. I think they post a solution like later on to give people a chance. But like I love this. I love like little coding challenges. And especially if you're like into like security and like making resilient apps. Check that out. Johan Carlson on Twitter. It's JOAXCAR. Last week I shared, are the Cubs playing a home game today on Glitch? And then this week I saw, did the Leafs win? So I figured it's another team I don't follow, but like it's a sports app on Glitch. So if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, congratulations, they did win. And you can see the whole game summary, which is really cool. And like last week I said, it must be a private code app. If you want to make your own app of your own team, you should be able to do that. This one's not remixable, which is unfortunate, but you know. Oh, this one's good. If you're not familiar with Rory Gianni, I featured his work a lot. I'll show you creating with data. But they are, I think, looking to buy a house in Scotland, and so they made a map of the sale prices. It's not like a joy-sparking kind of data visualization, but it's an interesting one nonetheless that I would like to see of like all different regions or countries, at least with the US regions because of how large the United States is. But this is like really cool. Now, I highly recommend you go to creatingwithdata.com. You've got a course coming up at the end of May if you're in Edinburgh. I think it's at, I guess Codebase must be an event. But Rory does not only does a lot of really cool stuff with D3, but he like does a lot of teaching of D3. So if you wanted to get into data visualization, creative technology, telling really interesting stories with data and charts, like Rory, I think is like the best suited one to do that teaching. Their examples are so interesting. Their writing is so good. And I would be saying that even if they weren't using Glitch. And so if you're going to be going to Codebase and are in that area on the 24th, they've got tickets and you can learn more about what's in the course and all of that. I really love their blog. They've done a bunch of other cool stuff on Glitch. I think like, Leaflet.js. The data-driven fabric designs is really cool. They did that on Glitch. And includes screencasts as well. Creating with data, just like a really great site. So shouts out to Rory for not only creating, but educating. And then creating with data, like the root of the app has all of the examples here. Oh, like tech companies in Edinburgh. So this is from 1980 to 2022, incorporations of software industry classifications. And so it's by year, and then you can like hover over to see what the classification is. So you can kind of see the growth of the software industry over time, which is kind of neat. Oh, I didn't even notice this. This is where they're based, and then sources of where the data comes from. Anyway, love that. Love data. Next one is cool. This goes back into like 3D related stuff. This is from, I believe, the folks at Needle Engine. Yeah, Marcel Weissler. So Peppermint Steve Tiglon is a random generated glitch name that rules, but also is a app that demos streaming M3U videos within a virtual reality experience. And so Marcel and others work on Needle, which is an engine that lets you deploy Unity to 3JS, and they use Glitch to host a lot of that. And so this is a 3D app. You can enter VR if you have the code, and this is like a specific room, and you can like click these little balls and they'll start streaming different videos. I like that you can turn it around. So like if you're in this like 3D space, you can be like all around it with friends. And I love that. I just kind of like exploring like the different things that you can do with WebXR to make it multimedia and like do that experience. Especially as with like Apple's Vision headset, I always get concerned that platforms are going to lock in the ability to develop that stuff behind their like native app SDKs versus the web. So to see the stuff on the web is really cool. Another great example of that comes from Pseudo-Room. Pseudo-Room is a really great hackerspace in Oakland. I've been there before. I have a great story about that. But they had a women in non-binary hack and do whatever night. And they made this little 3D rendering of the space. Let's open this up in a larger window. What's funny is I was looking at cool glitch apps and then like that were shared on Twitter, and this came up and I clicked it and I was like, wait, this place looks familiar. And it's like, oh, it's like a corner of Pseudo-Room, which I had been to. Last time I'd been there was many years ago, probably 2014, might have been like 10 years ago. I went there for I was in town for probably a bunch of like JavaScript events. It might have been when I was running DHTMLConf. And my friend Sarah, who's a writer, was taking me around all these different places. And we went to Pseudo-Room for this presentation from a local politician, and I forget her name, and I'm gonna find it. But one thing that she was saying was to help combat like gentrification. If gentrification has already happened, like at that time it was happening in Oakland, like it's still important to, even if like you're new to the space, to be a part of the community and like join each other. And like I knew that fundamentally as someone who is like into community organizing, but one thing that she has said was like when you walk by people on the street, like acknowledge them and like say hi. If like you're in the elevator, if you're in a bodega with like somebody, like just like be open and say hello. And it's like harder said than done, especially like when you're a woman, but I like took that and I really like made it a practice to say like hi to people. Like I will always look in the elevator, say like, how you doing? Like, how's it going? To people. And most of the time I get ignored, which is very weird. It's weird to ignore someone saying, how's it going? But I don't take it personally. But when they do engage, it's always like usually interesting conversation. You meet somebody new and like you recognize each other on the street. And I started after I'd started doing that, I started becoming friendly with a local bodega owner, and one day someone was following me home, and I like ran into the bodega and went to follow me, and I knew the guy, and I was like, someone's following me, and he's just like, I got you, like, come back here, and like got the person who's following me to like go away. And it was like a really scary moment, and because I had like created community with like this worker and like other people in other areas of, around where I live, like I ultimately became safer. Like not only did I like know about people and have neighbors, but was safe in a moment that I had it. And that's like part of your support system. So I don't know. It was like a very like, it sounds silly, but I've always been in the New York area, which is like known to be like quite cold and like mind your own business. And I like try to work that into like my day-to-day life, but also that's why I get so excited when I see people sharing stuff that they're creating online, because it is very kind of cold on the internet, and like it can be scary to like even just say hello world or say hi to somebody. And a lot of times you won't get any feedback back, or worse, people are mean to you. But in the moments, even if it's unfortunately rare that somebody like celebrates your work or helps you out, it like makes that being vulnerable worth it. And that has like, I'm getting like emotional thinking about like that presentation in the pseudo room, like dramatically changed my mindset of how I navigate being on this like large rock. So to see it in like VR form on Glitch was really freaking cool. Anyway, you asked. I'm gonna thank the person who said that while I wipe the blood from my eyes. Romy, thank you so much for sharing that and for having those kinds of events. In fact, I kind of want to do something similar at the Fastly New York City office. I kind of want to do like a women and non-binary like hack and do whatever. So yeah. That takes us to we have 15 minutes left, which is actually perfect timing. That is Glitch Code Jams. It's a new month. It's May 3rd. May the 3rd be with you. I'm not sorry. So first I want to open by explaining the Glitch Code Jams prompt for the month of May is teach a thing. There's a number of reasons why this is the prompt. One, you know, May is the end of the school year for a lot of people, or getting too close to the end of the school year. So I figured, why not procrastinate on your papers and assignments by making a glitch app that teaches a thing. Share what you've learned. It could be a tutorial, guides, fan art about your favorite fun fact. This month, we're all gonna make others say, today I learned. Like with any other code jam, you could submit your app anytime through the month by adding the hashtags codejam and hashtag teach a thing to the project description. What really prompted me to make this prompt was my coworker Deanna from the product experience team reached out and said, hey, the product experience team, we have an on-site coming up and we want to do a Glitch Community Code Jam like together. Do you know what the prompt is going to be for May? This is a while back. And I was like, I don't. But one thing that inspires me about our product experience team is the work that they do on helping teach and guide people through how to use like Fastly's products. And so teach a thing became that prompt. And so this week was the product experience team's on-site, and I know that they were working on some apps together. So if any of you are watching, including our coworker Sue Smith, formerly on the DX team, shouts out and thank you for inspiring this prompt. And if any of you have ideas for prompts in the future, let me know. Would love to consider them and add them. And yeah, so I'm definitely gonna go into prompts from the last month, but I had to share an example. One of the first submissions for the CoJam, and that is from the director of product experience, Jenn Fleming. That's the third Jenn mention on this stream. I'm looking at the chat over here. I'm like looking at you. So Jenn put together a test your compost knowledge so you can understand what items you might throw in your trash that can actually be composted. So like, let's get trashy, will we? Actually, let me open this in a new window. Okay, so can this item go into the compost? I'm gonna say no. Can this item go into the compost? I don't know. The plastic, I don't think so. Eggshells, yes. Okay, so your composting skills could use a little work, but you're on your way to saving the planet. Oh, and then it comes with printable recycle guides. Oh, so you can compost pizza boxes. That's very cool. I will say though, the composting rules here in Jersey City are very strict. And I understand why they are very strict, and that's because nobody pays attention to them. Because when I brought my compost out the other day, there were 3 loaves of Wonder Bread still in the plastic bag. My neighbor, love my community. The way that they try to compost, because they're new to it, I get it, but like also I'm sure they were not born yesterday. The way that they're so lazy about the composting, it terrifies me. Like, it terrifies me not in like a horror way, but like I'm afraid that the city is gonna take away what I consider it. I consider it an amenity, but like it really should be like table stakes for any community. But the way that people throw stuff out in the compost here is insane. Somebody opened the bin and put their Christmas tree like ass out, like bottom of the tree out into the compost. And the city has a whole other process for getting rid of Christmas trees. But this person, and this was like 3 or 4 months after Christmas. Like this was like in March. It was like, what are you doing with this tree for this long? Anyway, I didn't know that you can compost pizza boxes. That's good to know. And yeah, you can take the quiz yourself. Thank you, Jenn, for sharing. And I think that's like a really good first example. And you can remix this to make your own quiz to teach a thing to us. Let's see. Also, when Halloween is over, the compost bins are always overflowing with all the like pumpkins. And the squirrels. It's like the feast of Saint Squirrel after Halloween. I love that. Okay. I got a couple of playlists for you related to the jam. So I've got some inspiration, and I wanted to share some of the final submissions of the Cool Bugs CoJam from last month. In fact, I will just play this list. Okay, so Bergdal was Wordle, but for bugs made by Tiago. I don't know how. This is a very long word for a bug, so I'm not even gonna try it. But you can try it. And again, I love the fly emoji here. Grab a Bug is from Lauren. You just like grab a bug. I love that. It's so cute. The animation is cool. The hand cursor. Anyone who knows me and has been on the stream knows that I love a cursor image, a custom cursor image. Bye-bye, Beetle. Millipedes. Man, let's talk about millipedes. Now, I love bugs. I love looking at bugs. But the way that people will have pet millipedes and try to be like, oh, look how cute, look how adorable, like forbidden spaghetti noodle. Millipedes are not cute, and that's okay. Like, not every bug has to be cute, but you can't. I have a very open mind. You can't convince me that millipedes are cute. And that's not just because they infested my air conditioner in my first apartment in Montclair, New Jersey. Montclair, New Jersey, beautiful town. The way that like ladybugs will infest in one area and millipedes in another, the ecosystem, there's much to be studied there. Yeah, the ladybugs on Montclair State's campus. I love grasshoppers. Earwig, gross. That's a pretty caterpillar. I like beetles. Centipedes. Centipedes are like, no one's trying to make centipedes cute, right? Like, no one's like, look at that cute centipede. Although, actually, I think my partner once said, like, in a macro photography, like, macro photograph one, like, oh, it's got cute eyes. No. Centipedes, we have I have a mutual respect for them, in which I see one on my ceiling and I tell them, listen, I know that you're here to eat the mosquitoes, so that's great, but tomorrow I don't want to see you here. And then like the next day they're gone elsewhere. So mutual respect. I stand the centipedes. Silkworms, kind of gross. I hated butterflies as a kid. I think that's because of being like a young girl. I think everyone assumed that I like butterflies, and to combat that, I hated butterflies. But I've unpacked that internalized misogyny. But yeah, thank you, Lauren, for making that submission. Bugs versus boxes. We shared this game already. You're a bug and a bug, and you gotta get ooh, I love the buzzy sound. You gotta like avoid the boxes. Love that. Cockroach screensaver. This was my submission that I worked on all the past month. Here's my bug. There she goes. And then the screensaver's off. Thank you for joining me on that journey, by the way. Oh wait, go back. This is a new submission from Naoto, who's in the chat earlier. You just hover over the bugs to cool them off. I don't know, this is like cute. This could also be like a screensaver. What I did is, if you like hold the cursor there for a while, eventually all the bugs end up inside of it. And if you go onto the glitch forum for the thread about last month's prompt, you'll see that I've posted some cooling bugs art there. But then eventually they all are free. Warm up, buggies. There they go. Love that. It's a statement on the hustle and bustle of everyday life, but getting a chance to stop and freeze. That's probably not what was going through your mind, Naoto. Game about bugs is a clicker game where you can buy a bug and feed it. There's some food. And then the bugs make more bugs. And yeah, they'll have a child. And you just keep buying bugs and food and then selling them for more money. It's a clicker game. It's cool. This is a Rickroll app. I will not be clicking that, but thank you, Calby. Bug quiz. I think Bug Quiz is a buggy ChatGPT quiz that does like coding questions, and it uses AI, but it also said like, oh yeah, may not work or be incorrect occasionally. And so you can take the quiz, but a lot of the answers are wrong. But that makes it buggy and about bugs, and I love that. Another one from Marcel from Needle Engine. This is like a little game where you're kind of like walking through a 3D space. I love just like coloring in this preparing window, by the way. And it's like 3JS and Needle, so there's a lot of like processing before it gets started, but here we go. So you get dropped onto this like place, and you click and weird creepy bugs and stuff. And there we are back at Bergdahl. So that was the prompt. And here's some inspiration for this month. So first, thank you to everyone, like Neotis in the chat. Thank you to everyone that contributed to the Cool Bugs code jam. I hope that you will contribute to the Teach a Thing code jam. In fact, I think Neoto already shared something in the forum. So check that out. Here's some inspiration that I threw together. There's always like a lot more. You might recognize Rory Gianni. Of course, I added creating with 3D. When I think of like learning stuff, like my favorite apps on Glitch are math related. So I would like my coworkers or any of you to share apps that exist on Glitch already that have taught you a thing. But I'll just go quickly through some of them. So permutation groups visualizes different permutations. And this is by Nat Allison, who does some other really cool stuff. In fact, I think we have a creator profile or interview with Nat on the Glitch blog. I'm going to check that right now live, because why not? I've got a minute. I'll spend it on the blog. 5 minutes. So Nat Allison, polyhedra enthusiast. I too am a polyhedra enthusiast. I have 2 dodecahedrons permanently tattooed on my body, and one is stellated. So yeah, love that. Anyway, check out our interview with Nat, which is only from not even a year ago, so fairly recent. But yeah, just love the visualizations of this. Snub dodecahedron forever. I love my dodecahedrons. My dodecahedron tattoos are inspired by MC Escher. The first one is an actual dodecahedron with a cat on it. And this is like an abstract Americana version that the artist Jason Monroe made for me. MC Escher's drawings, some of them have dodecahedrons with like lizards walking on them, and I like cats, so I wanted a cat on it. And then I have a stellated dodecahedron. This is like Johann Kepler's drawing of the stellated dodecahedron. There's a program tattoo, which is literally this stamp from Paper Source under it. I am the girl with the program tattoo. Anyway, it's one of the 5 platonic solids. And someone say the universe is in the shape of a dodecahedron. Maybe I can make, or you can make, an app that teaches more about that. Gnome Saint says, might teach how to tile the plane aperiodically with the vampire Einstein spectrum volatile discovered last year. John says, don't sleep on the pentagonal hexagonahedron. We're not sleeping on any polyhedra. Christian Lawson Perfect just listed reciprocals. It's a never-ending list of them. And also just shows like what digits repeat and how often. I love this. Again, this is like cool math stuff. And because numbers are infinite, this doesn't end. I have not scrolled down below enough. Maybe for a live stream, I'll just scroll down forever. Neo just says this is so satisfying. Yeah, it's like, this is like the shit. I love it. Rory creating with D3. It's a collection of example codes and resources. Takes you through some of the examples. I already showed some of them earlier today, so you'll definitely learn a thing. And then hot dog pie toss. How close he gets to pie by tossing hot dogs. I've featured this a number of times because like I love it. It's also a cool, satisfying clicker game. It's one of those things where like the more hot dogs you toss, the closer to pie that you get. And you can learn more about that by going to the WikiHow, one of my favorite websites, that goes into not exactly why, but how to experiment with it in real life. So if you do a hot dog toss, let me know in the forum. And I think that is it for, yeah, the inspiration. So go to glitch.com/jams, learn about the prompts, look at inspiration, look at past jams that we've had. This will be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th jam. Love that. And you know, I haven't decided what I want to make yet. I don't know what I want to teach yet. I feel like I'm always teaching. So I'm like, what is something like new and different that I can teach? So I am just not quite sure. And because this is the last like weekly episode, the last of this season, the next stream will probably be the first week of June, to kick off whatever the June jam is. And I think in the meantime, I'll probably be sharing more on the glitch forum at support.glitch.com. We have a code jam category there. I'll probably be posting weekly updates on my own prompt, so you can do the same. That would be cool to see. So I'll see you on support.glitch.com, and I will see you on glitch.com. But for now, I gotta finish this because I shouldn't be drinking that much caffeine after 3 p.m., which is what time it is now. So I'm gonna chug this, finish the rest of my workday, and hopefully have a good weekend. And I hope you have a good weekend too. Yeah. See you on glitch.com. Bye.